Hey everyone. So today's video is for anyone who wants to begin guitar or who has recently begun guitar. So before you begin, there's a few things to know, just the parts of the guitar. I'm beginning with an acoustic because I believe it's much better to start on an acoustic. It's more challenging, yes, but in the long run it will make your electric playing so much cleaner, so much smoother, and your hands a lot stronger, your calluses a lot firmer. So to begin with, this little white part here, begin with the parts of the guitar, is called the nut. It's just a reference point. Right? It holds the strings, guide the strings down. When we refer to frets, if we say first finger, first fret, what we're talking about is the space between the nut and the first fret here, this metal part. Okay? The space between there, that's where we're referring to place the finger, just behind this first metal bar. So this is the second fret. This is the third, fourth, fifth. The space between is what we're referring to. First fret is space between the nut and the first fret. The space between the first fret and the second fret is what we would call the second fret. First finger, second fret, first string. Okay? And so on. Third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret. Okay? The second thing is the strings. So the strings are just named after the note that they play when they're open, when no fingers are on. Okay. So this thickest string at the top is the E string. This fifth string is the A string. Fourth string is a D. Third string is the G string. Second is the B string. And the highest, thinnest is an E again. So the top and bottom strings are the same, just different octaves. How to hold your pick. So all of these things vary technique, right? We could say there's a right or wrong way. There's a way to start with, and that's what I'll show you how I do it. But remember, it always comes back to you. It's always up to you. What's comfortable for you, you'll find your own way to do everything in time. So the way most people recommend is to place your thumb sideways with the pick resting on the first knuckle of your finger, your first finger, like that, right in the center with the thumb across like that. Okay? Mine winds up being a little more diagonal, like that, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Find what works for you. Okay? You don't even have to use a pick, you can use your fingers eventually. So moving on. Now, as with any instrument, you have to learn a few things. There's some things to overcome when you first start playing. So in guitar, a few of these things are, number one, something that you may have noticed already if you press on the strings and try to make a sound, is that your fingers are very soft and the strings are very hard. So you have to build calluses on your fingers, so it gets a little firm surface, almost like plastic-like on the tips of your fingers. And that takes time and patience, and there's some pain involved. I'm going to make a separate video on how to do that as quickly as possible. The second thing is finger dexterity. So being able to stretch your fingers very wide down to reach the maximum amount of frets or for large chords. Okay? And I'll also make a separate video on this where we could do some finger stretches and things like that you can practice throughout your day to increase your finger flexibility, your dexterity. And the third thing is coordination. So obviously you're doing two very different things with your hands, like in many instruments, piano, drums. On this hand, you have to learn the chord positions or the scales, whatever you're playing. On this hand, you have to learn to pick. If you're going to finger pick, you have to learn how to use all your fingers. So all of these are separate individual skills that we build by themselves and then put them together. So no matter what, it takes time, right? You have to be patient, take time. Anyone that tells you that you could do it quickly, I don't believe that's true, as it never worked for me. It's taken me a long time. And so if you really love the instrument, if you're interested in doing it, then just don't be hard on yourself, be patient, and have fun with it. Right? Keep practicing, and you'll see, take joy in the small achievements, right? The little bit you get better. Keep improving, keep improving. So soon I'll be uploading videos on each of these topics. the how to build calluses quickly, the building dexterity, and then coordination. We'll move into some scales, basic chords, things like that. Okay? So let me know in the comments if you have any ideas about things you would like to know, like to learn if you're beginning guitar. And see you next time. Thanks for joining me.